Hello, good morning, Primary 5. How are you? Okay, let's continue today if conditionals. Let's revise the first and the second conditional. As we said before, that we use the first conditional to talk about a possible event in the future. Like in the examples, if he invites me, I will come. If he invites me, I will come, which means that I want to come if he doesn't invite me. Number 2, they will get the full mark if they study hard. They will get the full mark if they study hard. So, if they don't study, yes, they want to get the full mark. Let's go to the second conditional. Okay, for the second conditional, as we mentioned before, we use it to talk about an impossible event in the present or to give advice. Do you remember when I say that if you wanted to give advice, you can say, if I were you, if I were you. And as we mentioned too, that all the present pronouns take were in the second conditional. Again, all the present pronouns take were in the second conditional. He were, she were, they were, I were. Okay? Let's read the following sentences. If I were you, I would buy a new dress. If I were you, I would buy a new dress. Number 2, if John were here, he would help us. Number 3, if Sally had a lot of money, she would travel around the world. Now let's go to the third conditional. Okay. We use it to express imaginary situations in the past. Okay, which means that you just imagine that if something happened, another thing would happen. Okay, which means you just imagine that something already happened and finished in the past if it happened in another way and another thing would happen. And it's also used to express regret, which means that you are sorry that you didn't do something. Okay? Let's read the following sentences. If Mona had studied hard, she would have passed her exams. Okay? But she didn't study hard, and she didn't pass her exam. Okay? Which means that she imagined that if she studied hard, she would pass her exams. Number 2, if Tom hadn't overslept, he wouldn't have been late for work yesterday, but he overslept, so he was late. Okay, how we form the third conditional? Let's see, if we start with F, it will be F plus past perfect, then subject plus would have plus PP. Let's see the example. If Mona had studied hard, she would have passed her exams. But if we put if in the middle, we will start with the subject, then would have plus PP, then we will put if, then past perfect. Okay, Mona would have passed her exams if she had studied hard.
Okay, now we will have an exercise about if conditional, all the types, type 1, 2, and 3, to make sure that you understand the lesson. Put the verb between brackets into the correct tense. Number 1, if I had a toothache, I go to the dentist. Okay, if I had, which type is that? 1 or 2 or 3? Had is a past simple. Okay, so on the other hand, I will put would plus infinitive, which is would go. Okay, so this sentence in type 2. Type 2, we put what? Past simple, and on the other hand, I will put would plus infinitive. Number 2, you burn yourself if you aren't careful. So, if you aren't careful, aren't here is present simple. So, which type is that? The first or second or third? Yes, the first one. Aren't is present simple. So, on the other hand, I will put will plus infinitive, which is will burn. Number 3, if the polar ice caps melt, sea levels rise. So, after F here, the verb is in the present simple. So, on the other hand, I will put will plus infinitive, will rise. Which type is that? The first or second or third? Yes, the first one. Correct. Number 4, if they had played well, they win the match. If they had played, had played, which tense is that? Yes, the past perfect. Past perfect. I put had plus the past participle. So this is what the past perfect. So on the other hand, I will put would have plus the pp, which is past participle. So here I put would have won. Would have won. Which um, case is that? The first or second or third? Yes, the third one. The third one. Past perfect, and on the other hand, would have plus the past participle. Okay. Number 5, I would scream if I see a ghost. So I would. Would. I put would in the second type. So on the other hand, I will put past simple. Yes, what is the past simple of the verb see? See, saw. So I would scream if I saw a ghost. This is the second type of F. If I be you, I would eat healthy food. So this is the second type. When I want to give advice to someone, I will use the second type, okay? And I will put where. If I were you, okay? I use it as an expression. If I were you. If I were you, I would do so and so. So if I were you. If I want to give advice to someone, I will use the expression of if I were you. Number 7, Rana lose weight if she did some exercises. So, which type is that? If she did. If she did. Here I have past simple. So, on the other hand, I will put would plus infinitive. Would lose. Number 8, if I eat a lot, my stomach wouldn't have hurt. If I, so here the verb is in wouldn't have hurt. Wouldn't have plus the past participle. So I will put what? The past perfect. What is the past perfect of the verb eat? Yes, I put had plus the past participle of eat, which is eaten. Had eaten. So if I had eaten a lot, my stomach wouldn't have hurt. Number 9, if it rain, we will stay home. Which type is that? The first type. So I have here will plus infinitive. So on the other hand, I will put the present simple, which is rains. If it rains, we will stay home. Number 10, if Jane hadn't gone skiing, she not break her leg. Hadn't gone. Hadn't gone here. So which type is that? The third type. So on the other hand, I will put would have plus the past participle. What is the past participle of break? Broken. Break, broken. So it will be would have broken.